The way to success in Bahria Town, Rawalpindi. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and kind, wherever you're viewing from this morning, welcome to Rawalpindi in Pakistan. The sun is shining, it's roughly about 30 degrees, and it's time for the morning walk. Take care of the health and a little bit of fitness as well. And at the same time, let us show you what's going on in Rawalpindi. It's a Monday morning, and it's fairly quiet, which is expected of Bahria Phase 3. I've said this a number of times before. This is Pakistan's most prominent housing society, extremely well developed in comparison to other parts of Pakistan. And in terms of energy, I've said this before many times as well, electricity, gas, etc., etc. They do not have too many issues. And I'm going to take you on a little walking tour. How about that? These types of vehicles are very popular in Pakistan. I'm talking about popular means of transport. So I'm just going to cross the quiet road. Notice the double yellow lines down the middle, which I assume in Pakistan means no overtaking. And look, this is the other side of the world. This is the other side of the road, where life, mashallah, gives you roses and gives you date trees. And once again, it's very quiet. And the area is protected from the River Son down at the bottom, from cattle that walks up the hill, or should I say climbs the hill, and then wanders into these parts. So it's protected. And as I say that, and look what I have found as I just speak about it, there's a shepherdess on the left. Oops, and here it comes. And guess what? I'm off. Someone book manumyun, fahum la yariyun. Fears, huh? False emotions appearing real. In reality, the anticipation of pain. And some lovely homes in Bahria. So let's carry on with our walk. And what can I tell you about Rawalpindi? Here we go. Switch on. So firstly, this is not an area that is typical of Rawalpindi generally. This is Bahria Town. Bahria Town is a prominent housing society. It's the best housing society by far in Pakistan. And one of the objectives of Bahria is to create developed areas, and generally through higher objectives with real estate is to develop Pakistan, to bring the level up of the as I nearly fall over, is to raise the level. So in the UK we have something called levelling up, depending on where you sit with levelling up. So one of the objectives is to raise the profile of Pakistan into a developing nation. Once again, I say it's not typical because the area itself is full of, is how we should say it, full of, maybe not full of, but is mainly, as I nearly fall over again, is nearly, as I see a house for sale. Let's start again. So Bahria Town is habited by lots of professional people. Many of them are from the forces, the army, the navy, etc. There are lots of financiers. So back to Bahria Town, one of its higher objectives is to raise the real estate standard in the country, and they are looking to help propel Pakistan into a developed nation. And they have various different phases as well. I believe phase 7 and 8 may be somewhere around the corner. I haven't seen it for about 2 years, but it was developing at a rapid pace. It's an elite neighborhood in comparison to the rest of Rawalpindi. And Rawalpindi itself was established, I think, around about 1904 when it separated from the district of now known as Attock. I think at that time it was called Kambalpur, but I'm not a Pakistani historian. I'm just telling you a story. But as you can see, look, it's very well developed, mashallah. And the city itself is a headquarters, I think, to the Army. Ayub National Park is here as well. It's the third largest, or is it third or fourth largest city in Pakistan. Mashallah, what a lovely home. Just caught my eye. And within this area itself, in terms of maintenance, it's a gated community, so very well secured as well. You will see maintenance. People like in the UK, we see the local authority and the council repairing services as I walk past the sweeper. As you can see, it's crinkle clean, mashallah. I forgot where I was. Oh yes, something to do with maintenance. Subhanallah. Look, little bridge over. Can you see that? A little bridge over. There we go, the drainage system. And we have somebody just sweeping on the other side of the road. I'm glad he's turned his face. Daily सफाई करते हैं. अच्छा माशाल्लाह है. अच्छा एक दफा सुबह आते हैं. हाँ सुबह के 8 से 4 तक इधर ही होते हैं. एरिया सारा ही एक बंदा होता है. अच्छा माशाल्लाह. जज़ाकल्लाह. आपका नाम ब्रदर? मेरा नाम बासित. This is Basit. Mashallah. This is Basit cleaning the streets. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in his life. Look, isn't that, mashallah, so beautiful? So look, if you're an overseas Pakistani, second, third or fourth generation, this is the side of Pakistan that sometimes people do not expose you to. Because as kids, it wasn't right and it wasn't wrong, but as kids in the early 80s, when our parents started to expose us to Pakistan as children, and they put themselves second and they put out us first. Why? So we could see the culture, we could see Pakistan, we could have an understanding of the country and start to understand who Mama Ji is, Kaka Ji is, Masi Ji is, who Dada Ji is, who Nana Ji is, and so on and so forth, and start to expose ourselves, okay, to the culture, which over a period of time, their investment, alhamdulillah, has paid off. So not only have we been educated through a different means of education, but sometimes people think that education is only academic. That is just one type of education. Education exists in many different forms. I think data will show that it's roughly about 13 types. So when my young ones were younger and I attempted to extend their holiday period officially by another 2 weeks, what the teachers told me was they will miss school, which is fair enough because they would miss school. However, after being exposed to Pakistan and being exposed to a different culture with different languages and different norms and different values, they and I and many others too were able to inculcate some of those values today. So as we have grown up, we now, alhamdulillah, speak often 2 languages or 3 languages. By the way, so Pakistan ratlo sara alhamdulillah the mulk chiden hum samarat mamaji sokte kakaji sokte din sade مشران څوک دي کشران څوک دي زبانونه کم دي غربت کې دای څنګه پاتې کیږي مالداری کې دای څنګه پاتې کیږي اٹھنا بیٹھنا کیسے ہوتا ہے سو اس وجہ سے دیکھو 1 2 3 زبانیں عام طور پہ آتی ہیں ان بچوں کو جو پاکستان کے ساتھ اور اس کلچر کے ساتھ ٹچ رکھتے ہیں سو دوسرا چیزیں میں کافی فائدے راضی پیسہ 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 دا خو صرف چیزیں زندگی مقصد نہ دے there's many other maqsads and purposes as well so ہر چیز کی balance پکار دے mashallah isn't that beautiful so for those of you that are watching that keep asking about Pakistan there's some fun facts for you as we hit a blue information sign with road G. That is the way to success. So I've stepped into the grass under the trees, just so nice and cool. One of the prominent landmarks of Islamabad and Rawalpindi is its greenery. The foothills of the Himalayas are just around the corner, and Rawalpindi itself. By the way, this is information from the internet and it's not always true, but Maharana Bappa Rawal, I think, was the gentleman's name. He was one of the founders of this area, according to that particular data. However, Rawalpindi today is twinned with Islamabad. For economical reasons, it has high economical power, known as the Twin Cities. Rawal and Pindi, Rawals and Pindi, the village of the Rawals is one of the definitions. I believe this area will be, maybe I'm wrong, will be under the Rawalpindi Development Authority as opposed to the Capital Development Authority, which takes care of everything Islamabad. And what you will also find is, after the floods in Pakistan some years ago, that lots of people from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa migrated to these areas. So I was just talking about it. Dear Sari Pakhtana, lots of English people, say that again, lots of Pakhtana, lots of Pathan people migrated from places like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and lots of them are now working in Bahria, and lots of them are in labour roles. Some of them are in semi-professional roles as well. And they serve a lot of the elite in these areas. And one of the nice things in these areas, I don't know if you can see, but it's behind me, is there's lots of private security personnel as well, ensuring security and safety for people that live in these areas. I'm talking about labour. Here we go, check this out. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, how about that? Lots of cover and lots of colour. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. How beautiful. Remember to please subscribe, like and share the videos too. And if you're watching for the first time, welcome. If you're watching for the second, third or 1000th time, welcome to the channel. Keep tuned, inshallah, and let's spread the videos, inshallah, out far and wide. And from the point of where I'm standing, the view of the surrounding areas is something like this on a beautiful sunny day. A very sunny Rawalpindi phase 3, and some guys are waving their hands about as they nearly crack. Just walked across from the residential area across the road to the Civic Centre in Bahria Town. Across the road from the residential area into the car park of the Civic Centre, which is translated as the town centre. It has a various amount of shops and places, and it can be extremely surprising what you will find, from high-end restaurants to local eateries, places of education. Lots and lots of different shops and lots of luxury brands. So look, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Remember to please subscribe, like and share. Just a walk with Javed Khan, with world-class discussions and a little bit of gap shop as well. Look, for wherever you're watching in the world. Assalamu alaikum.